without these things, like who am I? And then after sitting in it and some more, I realized that all those things don't actually matter and that I had some more inner work to do. So I think that if you are associating yourself with just a singular thing, I would look inward, because there's definitely a lot then some inner work that you can do to love yourself without anything.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Tori Cruz Show, where we're shining a light on real conversations and transformational stories with some of the most dynamic entrepreneurs and faith-driven leaders you'll ever meet. I'm Tori Cruz, your host, entrepreneur, virtual stylist, and former Miss Missouri USA, ready to guide you along this exciting journey. This isn't just any podcast. It's your new home for stories that uplift, conversations that transform, and a community that feels like family. From the real challenges to the exhilarating moments of achievement, we cover it all, infused with adventure, laughter, insights, and heartfelt discussions. So settle in, make yourself comfortable, and let's get this show on the road. This is the Tori Cruz Show. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tori Cruz Show. Today's guest is Angela Gargano. You guys, Angela is one of those people who is so fierce, so passionate about what she does and helping other people feel extremely confident and positive in their own body image. She's a fierce athlete. She's a coach, an international fitness model. She's a speaker. She's been on American Ninja Warrior 6 times, won fitness competitions, and now is the founder of the Pull-Up Revolution program. You guys, Angela and I had such an incredible conversation. We even did pull-ups in the middle of Zilker Park in Austin, which was so much fun. And I just love her spirit, her nature, her empowerment soul that she has within her to help others feel so confident internally with who they are and the power that they have within. So without further ado, welcome Angela to the show. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tori Cruz Show. We are live here in Austin, Texas at Zilker Park, and I have such a special guest. You guys just heard her amazing bio, but we are here live with Angela Gargano right now, and she is a fitness queen. She's been on Ninja Warrior, the cover magazines, and she helps so many women develop the confidence through pull-ups. Pull-ups, you heard me right. Like, this is so cool to have a brand like this, and I'm just so excited to be here with you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to share my story, and it's great.
You really did it right. Your hair is up in a ponytail, mine is down, and it's blowing everywhere right now. So, but we're just gonna walk in the park today and just have a conversation about, I wanna learn more about your brand and, you know, share with all of our people listening here, just your heart behind pull-ups and like where this all stemmed from. You were a biochemist major.
Yeah.
And then now you're an absolute fitness guru.
Yeah, so definitely a
Absolutely
big change.
crazy. Yeah. Tell us that journey of like, you went to college to become a biochemist. And then where did that transition happen where you're like, you know what, actually I'm gonna take a totally different turn in life and go more in the fitness realm?
Yeah, I mean, when I went to college, I actually told my parents that I want to do something with fitness. I said I want to be a personal trainer. I said that maybe I want to be like in the circus, something like that was like very like broad. And my parents were like, that's not a real job. Like, you're not going to be able to make enough off that. And I could totally understand. They are concerned parents and they wanted to make sure that I can make a really good living. So I chose the next obvious choice, which is biochemistry. I don't know. I had a science teacher I really liked, and I almost felt like pressured to like, I need to choose my major right now.
Yeah.
And then because my parents were like, we're going to pay for your school, I was like, I need to pick it right now and I need to get in and out in 4 years. So I almost felt this like pressure that I had to have everything figured out before I even went to school.
Yeah. I think that's so relatable though. There's a lot of people that, I mean, that's what we're told our whole life. I feel like, you know, it's like, all right, let's go to college. Let's make sure you have a good degree. You graduate college and then you get married and then you start a family. And like, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? And I think that both of us are like not on that track whatsoever right now. But it's really cool and really inspiring to see like you actually made that decision to kind of switch and go towards something that you're a lot more passionate about. So I think there's a lot of people listening who may be in that point where they have been doing something or they thought that this is what they were called to do or they should do more or less, but they actually have this other calling that is they're way more passionate about, but they're scared to jump ship and go over there. So what would you suggest for those people?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like internally I knew pretty much the whole time, but I didn't know what to do. I was almost like paralyzed with, I know I'm kind of not doing what I feel like I'm meant to be doing, but also like I feel kind of like stuck in it.
What did that feel like?
It felt really hard, like, you know, especially because I wasn't really excited to show up to the things that I was doing. I mean, the chemistry stuff was really cool, right? So it kind of was cool and I could do it. I could do it pretty well, but I just knew internally that it just wasn't it. And I think the thing that really shifted my mindset was I was a college gymnast also. So after college, I was trying to figure out something that I could do that could get me really active and athletic and feeling that way again.
Right.
So I started asking around to people. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is happening? And I actually wound up finding fitness competitions, and the fitness competitions though, where you get to like flip around on stage and perform and all these different things. And what I didn't know before was when I was doing gymnastics while I was fit, I didn't actually really know too much about actually working out and eating healthy and doing all these things.
Yes.
So I met this woman, Kathy Savage, and Kathy Savage literally was like, I'm going to sponsor you and you're going to do a fitness competition. And it was this wild, like, what? Like this random woman.
Did you have any clue what a fitness competition actually included?
Not really.
Did you know what you were getting yourself
Not
into?
at all. She gave me like this clear stripper shoes, and I was like, I can't walk in those. I don't know what this is. But all I heard was, you're gonna flip on stage and you're gonna do a routine. And I was like, let's go. Like,
That's
I'm
awesome.
into it. And she had this unwavering belief in me. And once I started doing that and seeing how she ran her life, she started actually asking me these bigger questions. She's like, what do you want to do? What are you good at? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? Stuff that people had never asked me before in my entire life. So it's because of her that I was able to think deeper onto what I actually wanted, what I actually liked doing, what made me feel really good. And when I saw that she was running a fitness empire, I was like, wait. So that's when I started to shift gears and kind of really understand that this is something that I could actually be doing. So it actually took somebody else's belief in me to really switch me over. And sometimes you need that. You need that one person who's like, no, you can do this.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She literally just said it right there. You just need one person to really believe in you, and then you can ride off of their belief to go to your dream and to your next belief. So I mean, I think that's completely key. It's just really finding those people who, because she gave you the confidence, right?
Yeah.
And then she was asking you all these questions about like what you want in life, like what are your dreams, and really pulling out that why, right?
Yeah.
And do you do that now for the community of women that you work with?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
always asking them. I feel like I definitely right now am what Kathy was for me, right?
Oh, how cool is that?
Well, yeah, it's so powerful. I give them that extra belief in themselves that they probably didn't have when they first came in and entered to conquering their pull-up, which turns into so many other things in their life. But yeah, a lot of women, specifically the women that I teach, are a lot of times are moms, and not a lot are people asking the moms how they're doing, right?
Yes.
Because they're constantly giving back.
Mhm.
And then when you finally say, hey, no, let me take care of you. What do you want? It's like such a relief to have somebody do that for you.
So do you find that, actually first describe to everybody what your community is all about and what you stand for?
Yeah, so my community is Pull-Up Revolution. We help women become the strongest, most confident version of themselves by teaching them their pull-up. So that's the first step, and it's the gateway, right? So people are like, Angela, you literally teach pull-ups for a living. I'm like, yes, I do, but it's more than that, right?
Yes,
You
result.
Yes, you get them in to get their pull-up, but they leave with confidence, with this, okay, cool, what else can I do? What else is something that I could do that this seems so impossible? I accomplished it. Now what else can I do? So it's it's very empowering.
So you give women hope to do hard things.
Yeah.
What do you find is one of the things that when women come to you where they're like, absolutely, I need your help with this, but actually I have this going on behind the scenes that actually nobody probably knows about?
I always love interviewing them, especially even after they get their pull-up, and they always tell me that they actually, behind the scenes, had this actual fear of success, which is pretty wild, right? Because you think it'd be a fear of failure, which there is people with fear of failure, but this fear of success, because once they get their pull-up, once they take that next step, who are they going to become?
Oh, that's
They're almost like scared. They're scared of what is this next version of myself? That means I'm gonna have to show up more confidently, maybe, and speak up for myself in a certain way. And they're actually fearful of the success that they might have.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. I think it is oftentimes more like when you get into that powerful position of, now you have the support system behind you. You have somebody who believes in you. You just conquered something super big. It's like, whoa, God, like what's next? Like what else are you going to do in my life? And then when you're surrounded by this incredible group of people who believe in you, just like you do for all those women, I'm sure it can get overwhelming in a sense.
Yeah.
For them. So, I mean, that's just incredible. But what's really cool here is to see the transition that you made from biochemist to then living in your purpose and in your calling. but the only reason that you were able to do that was because somebody believed in you first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. It's almost like she carried me. She carried me there.
Yeah, but you're using that gift that somebody gave you for the best for other people too.
They say that too with a lot of businesses, right? Like businesses a lot of times you're almost catering to that person that you were or you used to be. You see that in so many businesses. Like I created this space for my younger self or my past self who wish they had that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So now tell everybody about your journey to, you were a ninja warrior?
Yes.
I mean, come on, you guys. Isn't this incredible? What did you learn at that experience?
Oh man, there are so many things that I learned in American Ninja Warrior. First of all, it's so funny. We call it being an accidental ninja.
Yeah.
Because I actually didn't really get on the show on purpose. I put in a video. You put in a video for anybody can in order to get onto the show, and I kind of like forgot about it. And I got a call, and it was like, "You're an American Ninja Warrior in 2 weeks." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need to learn how to ninja somehow."
What's that a ninja? Like, what did you?
Yeah, I'm like, what exactly? I'm like, what is that? So now I'm like, look, I hadn't even seen the show, so I'm looking at the show, and I had to find people who knew how to ninja, and it was cool. It was this amazing community, just like fitness though, where the people are building obstacles in their backyard, they're building it in their houses, and everyone was super welcoming and like, hey, yeah, let's help you teach you how to ninja in a couple weeks. So that's really interesting part about it. Even though I'm athletic, it's a completely different realm.
What is ninja? Like, what kind of courses did you set up in your backyard? Like, how did you train for something like that?
So I mean, there's ninja gyms, which people are obsessed with the show, so they had stuff set up everywhere. There's people who have stuff set up in their backyard, like monkey bars, lache bars, salmon ladders, like all the things, homemade, like out in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
It was really empowering to do that because going from fitness competitions, which was great, and I learned so much about that, but you're being judged on your body.
For sure.
You're being judged on what you look like. To ninja, where I don't really care what your body looks like, but can you get through the obstacle course? Like, is your body going to be strong enough to get through it? So it was a perfect shift because I was kind of over like dieting, going up there, being judged by like how I look, into, okay, cool, I'm going to try and get really strong. And what I noticed is that then I'm eating more, then I'm working out for performance, and I look just as good.
Yes.
So it was a cool little shift to do ninja because it was all about performance, and everyone there is just like, I just want you to try and get through the course, which is really exciting.
Okay, so what I hear through this is when you were competing in fitness competitions, you know, I competed for Miss USA, so it's the same.
Yeah.
It's different, but it's the same. Like, you're up on stage, and like you said, those stripper heels is what it seems like. They're 6-inch, they're clear, nude heels, like, and you're in a bikini, and you're doing all these poses in front of a bunch of strangers, and you're being judged on your performance. And so there was a lot that went into that training, I can imagine, for your fitness competitions. But then transitioning to ninja, where it is more like that strong body, did you ever struggle with body issues, like image issues with yourself, or did you see it with other people too?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely struggled with body image actually even before the fitness competitions, because growing up I actually was already pretty muscular. So that wasn't in. Like, what was in was the thin, skinny, whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of the kids in the school would be like, she's a man. They'd be like, Mangela. I would hide my body so much. So from going from hiding my body to fitness competition, showing my body finally and celebrating it, which is really great, to being like, oh, I'm actually like feeling pretty, like almost like too thin, right? To then going to do Ninja Warrior, I definitely had a little bit of body dysmorphia there, I would say. I didn't realize it honestly until later on, because you are so lean when you're on stage, like you are teeny. And then when you are in your healthy, normal body, it does not look that shredded.
Right.
So you're almost like in your head, you're like, wait, am I supposed to be like more shredded than this? But also you're like, wait, I feel really good. To everyone else, you're like, she looks great. But in your head, you're like, wait, I'm a little confused. So definitely a little bit of in between, like not really sure. But I definitely feel like I was able to overcome that because I felt stronger. I had more energy and all those different things.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And especially with what you think is right, because when you're competing, it's like, okay, this body type is right. This is what you have to be to win, right? And then when you get back into your normal routine, you have to reframe your mind. Did you find yourself having limiting beliefs around your body and nutrition and workouts?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I was like finding myself being like, wait, I couldn't eat the 6 meals a day, whatever. Is this right? Oh my God, I don't know. I didn't get like 3 workouts in a day. And after a while you start to realize like, okay, I didn't really need to even actually do that much. You know what I mean? That was for that moment in time, but there is a way to eat healthy, sustainably, and feel really good at the same time. But yeah, definitely tough in between.
So if somebody listening right now is struggling with that in between of any sort with like body image, you know, what would you suggest to them to actually like get over that hump? Because there's nothing worse than when you feel bad about your body, because it affects your confidence, it affects your presence, it affects your everything.
I really think, honestly, coming back to gratitude, really coming back and being thankful for your body every single day. It sounds so silly, but if you do it every single day, if you look in the mirror and you say, you know, you look at it first and you have that thought like, man, I should be thinner than this. And then you look back and you know what, thank you, body. Like, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. Like, you feel strong, you feel energized. After a while, your brain does start to believe it.
It's so true.
It's so wild.
So
It doesn't
good.
at first you're like, this is so dumb. And you do it, then you do it after a while, you're like, and then one day you're like, actually, like,
I look good. I'll look at myself in the mirror.
It's really cool when you meet people who just have that confidence about them too.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, by their energy that they're like, you know what, I look good, and no matter what state I'm in.
Yes, that's like the ultimate, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what every person wants, but it's not always what happens.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So with your community now and, you know, where you're really heading this year, you're wanting to speak on more stages, right?
Yeah, I have been. I feel like it really like fires me up, just probably like how, you know, the pageants were for you. I really enjoy being on stage. I really enjoy sharing my story. It's so wild because I feel like everyone thinks that way, but there's people who are like, no, like they don't want to be on stage or doing those things. But I really do feel like I like getting on stage because I like to really impact, tell my story, and at least give people the tools in the toolbox that I've learned throughout my journey to help them in some kind of way.
What's that one thing that you would say you're most known for after you speak for an actionable step that you give your audience?
Oh man, I mean, there's so many different steps, but one of the ones that we've been going through has been that what if my talk is normally called "What If It All Goes Right," right? And
Can we share the story though after this?
yeah, we can. Let's share the story. So my talk is normally called "What If It All Goes Right," and you know, one of the key takeaways I have for that is when I was on Ninja Warrior, I actually wound up tearing my ACL on the show on national television, and I went from a moment of having all these things, a gym, being on the cover of magazines, all these different things, to nothing. So everything that I attached my identity to was these things, right? So I had to really reframe my brain and reframe how I was speaking to myself and knowing that I'm so much more than just that. So I started writing the "What If It All Goes Right" method, which is you writing out like, what if it did go right, right? Because a lot of times your head is in that negative space of like, everything's falling apart, everything's going wrong. But what if it did go right? Like, what would it even look like? So I started writing that down every single day, and as that clear picture came to be, it started to become a reality. So that's, I think, the biggest thing that I feel like I've taught people in my talks. There's obviously a ton of other takeaways and stuff like that, but that's my favorite one. Is just sitting there and writing, like, what does going right even look like? Do you even know? Because sometimes you don't even know. You're like mad about stuff. You're like, I don't actually even know what I want.
That's so true. It's just like reframing your mind completely. And because we're always going to have problems, right? We're always going to have things that go wrong or, you know, not always right in our life. But what if we always think like that and then more things are actually going to be right?
Exactly.
You know?
Perspective shift.
It is. It's all perspective shift.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is really fun. So Angela on, she came on Hot Seat Style, and this is where I style women live every single Wednesday for their next speaking engagement. And Angela didn't have a speaking engagement at the moment, and she said, well, you know what, but I'm going to. And I was like, I knew right then we were going to be friends. And so we literally styled her for this make-believe speaking engagement. And then just, what was it, like a couple weeks ago, you text me, and she was like, I got a speaking engagement. I was like, of course you did. Like, you manifested this. But what was so cool is that this other story that totally transpired after we did this. So we had your outfit ready to go. You were like, seriously, just ready for your next speaking engagement. You got the call. You were stoked. You had your outfit ready. You felt confident. You were great. You get to New York. I get a message from Angela. You take it from here.
Yeah, I was so excited. Mind you, I felt so prepared. Like, I'm like extra prepared for this. I was prepared for it for like a week. And I get there and I realized that I literally forgot my pants. Like, I forgot the pants, the outfit, which is what I needed. It's like the main thing. And I had no other pants. Like, I had no, like, I came on the plane, like, literally, like, homeless looking. Like, I had my baggy pants.
No, I've got you not to do that thing, right?
I know. I'm like, a lesson learned. I'm like on there with all, like, you know, I'm like, I don't have pants. So I'm messaging her. I'm like, girl, I don't have pants. I don't like half this of my outfit. I'm like, but I don't understand how I did that.
So then she went to Kohl's in New York, and you got this outfit. But what was the coolest thing, and just like made my, fashion stylist heart so happy, was you're like, I knew what to look for because we had already done that.
Yeah.
And so you weren't like completely overwhelmed, and like she was laughing in her messages, and I was laughing. I was almost in tears because it was so hilarious that you just like forgot your pants and then you went and created your outfit. But the cool thing was that you felt so confident with your outfit, and you have a fitness company. So,
Yeah.
we want to make sure that your outfits are more sporty, but also, elevated for speaking. So you nailed it by yourself.
I
girl.
think that was what I was doing wrong before too. I honestly I had a bunch of speaking gigs I did the year prior, and I kept going to like these boutiques and like trying to dress a certain way because I thought like I needed to dress fancy or whatever.
Right.
And then when we had our talk on what to wear, I was like, oh, she's right. Like this doesn't feel like me.
Yes.
And I felt so much better like doing it the way where I'm like, no, I'm sporty, I'm this, like this is who I am. So yeah, much easier to figure out what to wear. And if I didn't have that conversation with you, I think I'd be in holes like, I don't know what I got.
So great. Oh my gosh. I was like, the wind's picking up here in Austin, let me tell you. So we need to see these pull-ups.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I would love to do a pull-up, but I just don't think that I'm going to be able to. But we need to see this strategy behind, we're in a park here. Are there any trees that you're like, I can do a pull-up on that tree right there? And then actually, like, I want you to teach us, like, what are the first couple steps that you teach for women, just to merely start a pull-up to really, like, conquer that mindset and strength?
Yeah, for sure. I think that closer to where we started over there
Perfect.
has a tree, so we can go over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go over there. Okay. Wait, hold on. What's the first step here? How do you know if this
Especially on a tree, you just gotta like make sure that there's no weird things on it.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
This is how it goes down, you guys. This is Austin, Texas.
If I break this tree, I'm sorry.
You need to go to a bigger one?
No, this is like the perfect height, so we're just gonna go with it.
Okay.
Okay, so first step to learning a pull-up is hanging. But before you even do that, I feel like what's even more important with getting your pull-up is the mindset piece before you. Like to get your pull-up, and we say this in my workshops, you need to be a whole new version of yourself, right? If you constantly are walking up to your bar or whatever you're doing and you're like shaking your head and you're like, I can't do this, like you're not gonna be able to do it, right?
Oh, you mean like I just said on the video that I can't?
Yeah. So what we do
Get my mindset
is we
right.
shift it. Yeah, we shift our mindset and we show up to the bar as our alter ego. So is you have an alter ego name?
I love it. Torrance.
Torrance? Ooh, okay, Torrance. Okay, I'm Xena.
Xena
the warrior princess. So what we make our clients do is you show up to the bar as the alter ego self every single time. And again, that's the version of yourself that isn't there. It does actually exist.
Yes.
But you need to kind of like borrow that belief for a little
Right.
bit. So first step before you do anything is definitely hanging on the bar. This is a tree. I'm going to hang here. And you literally can
Do
just...
you mean to hold your jacket? Do you want...
Yeah, here, we'll take the jacket off.
I'm used to, holding jackets and blazers.
Yeah. So we'll jump up. So step one is just hanging and hopefully not breaking it. Yep, we're good. We're just gonna sway. So when you start with your hanging, you want to be able to try and hang on your bar for at least like 30 seconds. Like,
Okay.
and you can work yourself up to it. So if you jump there and you're like, oh, I can only hang for like 5 seconds, that's literally okay. Like, go up every single day. So if you can hang a little bit longer, try and hang for at least 30 seconds.
What is the purpose of hanging?
Hanging is going to help your grip strength, and it's literally where you are when you're pull up, right? You can get comfortable hanging on the bar and just chilling out there. You're going to be able to feel more confident when you get up to that bar to do your pull up.
Okay.
So hanging helps your grip strength, feels really good in the body. Doesn't make you taller. Tried it. Doesn't. But that would be cool. The next step to getting your pull up is definitely working on the bottom piece of your pull up. So like a lot of people, they use the assisted band and they just like keep trying to do the assisted band thing. And the issue with that is it helps you at that hard end. It helps you at that bottom piece. So you need to focus on the bottom piece of the pull-up. So this way you can get the second half. Most people can do the second half. So biggest tip is working on shoulder shrugs, but people do these and they do them really quickly. So I'll show you, you do without the bar if you want. You go here and you just put your hands above your head and you just shrug and hold. And then bring it back up. So I call this the rehearsal.
Hold on. We gotta have some fun with this.
Do a rehearsal. Yeah, put your There we go. Let's see. She's taking it off.
I gotta do this.
So we're gonna rehearse before we do it.
Okay. Gotta move my mic. Make sure we're getting the real deal.
We're all alter egos too.
Yes.
I am not Angela right now. I'm Xena.
I'm Torrance.
Torrance and Zena.
If you're listening on podcasts, this might be when you go to the YouTube so you can actually see what we're doing. Right? So we're going to try to explain it best for all you who are listening
your
to
hands
just
over your head and you're just kind of shrugging.
So like pushing your shoulders down. Okay, and what is the purpose of that? What does that do?
So this is going to help activate that bottom piece of the pull up, which a lot of us don't use. So I want you to think about your everyday life. Do you feel like you're doing that in your everyday life ever?
I feel like my shoulders are all very tight around my neck.
Yeah,
because
like
I'm like on my laptop or like
exactly.
stressed or doing something, you
so
know.
most of the time people are here,
Yes,
like typing,
hunched
you're
over.
texting. You're not ever really doing this. So think about how great that is, not only for your pull-up, but for your body. And that's part of the reason people don't have their pull-up too. Mindset. And also we don't use this muscle like ever.
Yeah.
Like we just literally don't use it.
Okay, so first thing is you hang from the tree
Hang
or from the bar.
From a bar.
But if
Try
you
and get
wanna-
comfortable, hanging for like at least 30 seconds. You wanna try to hang on it? Yeah!
That's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Tree's a little
The
wide.
tree's a little wide, so it's gonna be tough. And then try some rehearsals. And then when you get comfortable, you can hop on the bar and you can try to do that shrug while you're up there. So you can hang on there and just shrug and hold it while you're hanging.
Okay.
So, I mean, it would look like, if I can do it, let's see. Again, I'm always like a bug person. I'm like, is there a bug on here? Okay.
No, there's no bugs in Austin, Texas.
Nope, not that one. Okay, we'll do it here. Okay, so then you hang and then you'll do your shrug here. And you hold it and then come back down. So holding and shrugging for like 3 to 4 seconds and holding at that point. So people normally with pull-ups, they're trying to go fast, fast, fast,
Yes.
more. No. Slow.
Okay.
Hold. Get the bottom piece. Crush the bottom piece. And then the rest of it's going to come easily with all the other drills.
So what do you do? So you're hanging, then you do the shrugs, and then when do you actually, what's the point that you actually do the pull-up?
So we go through, in the program I have, we go through a ton of different drills, and we're not actually really doing the pull-up until like a week or two down the line.
Okay, cool. So you like are actually warming up the body, making them feel confident, encouraging them, getting the mindset in place.
Different drills, and you put all the different pieces together. We do, however, make them attempt the pull-up without the pull-up band, once a week at least.
Yes.
Because that is the hard part sometimes too, right? Because like you're internally like, I'm never gonna be able to do this. So we like make them do it, but we make them dance beforehand.
What made you so passionate about pull-ups? I mean, there's a lot of different techniques that you could do to become strong and confident and mindset, but like, why pull-ups?
Those women just kept coming up to me and they're like, I just want to get one pull-up. And then when I saw how they transformed during it, I was like, there's something so special here. So it really was this skill that literally came to me, and seeing these women just be like, this is something impossible that I've wanted for so long.
Wow.
That really just, made me so passionate about it. And what I also noticed is that there's nothing out there for women, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of guys and bros, and they're like, just go to pull the board, pull up. And I'm like, that's not how it feels for us. Like, right, for a woman, it feels intimidating. It feels hard. I wanted to create a space where we have fun with it and we speak about it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So it really came from those women specifically.
I love
like,
that.
helping them.
So one of the common themes here as we kind of wrap up is I've really noticed just like the empowerment, whether it's something that, maybe somebody doesn't want to necessarily learn how to do pull-ups, but there's another challenge or thing in their life that's really blocking them from getting to that version of them that they're really desiring. How can you help people really overcome that disbelief in themselves, help them believe more in what their talents are, what they are capable of, and really come out on the other side just more proud of themselves? Because I think that's what a lot of people are craving.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they do not deeply have that belief in themselves. And like I said, if you can borrow the belief from us just for a little bit and just kind of believe it. Like when I get them to be their alter ego self and they're dancing around and all this stuff like that, they for that second do believe it for like a slight second. That's honestly all you need.
Yes.
You only need that slight second to believe in yourself.
Right.
And then when you start to celebrate the little steps along the way, which is another thing we do at Pull Up Revolution, is we break it up into little steps, right? Because most people are just celebrating the end goal of what it might be. So maybe if for some reason they're trying to run a marathon, right?
Yep.
You don't just celebrate the marathon. You're going to celebrate, I got up and I walked around the block today.
Yes.
Then you're going to celebrate, I did a little jog and I did a 5K. You're not going to just only think about the big last thing. So I think also, having a little bit of belief that starts to shine in, and then also breaking it up into little steps and just celebrating every single moment of it.
I love what you said there just about breaking it up in little steps, because I think there's so many entrepreneurs out there who we have this big goal. I mean, we are dreamers, right? And so we have this massive goal, but then to like really peel back the layers a little bit and unpack what is that journey looking like for you, and then celebrating it along the way. Like you said, just waking up and going for a walk or doing this or that. It's the little parts of the journey that's actually the most beautiful. Because then when you get the big, then it's more exciting because you realize that you've already enjoyed the steps to get there, and you've endured the struggles, you've endured the trials and the pain and the discomfort, but then you also have enjoyed the beauty of what you have created along the way.
Yeah, the process. I mean, there were so many moments like when I tore my ACL on Ninja Warrior, and then I came back 11 months later, which was wild on the show. My goal was to get back on that show. It's all I wanted to do. I worked so hard towards it. But when I got there to compete, I didn't care anymore. Like, I didn't care what happened because I already did. I already won. I already won by all the things that I had done, by me showing up for myself, by believing in myself when I did not believe myself, and just showing up. When I got the cover of the magazine, which took so long, I like photoshopped myself on the cover in 2015 because of Kathy. We did a vision board.
Yes.
In 2021, I finally got it. And while it was so exciting, it wasn't about that.
Yeah.
And I realized it then in that moment that yes, it's so great to have these big goals and be like audacious when I do this, but you have to celebrate the journey, and that's how you believe in yourself each piece and more. Just showing up every single day. Be like, I showed up, I got up, I did a little something for whatever goal. And once you do it for one thing, you can do it with everything. It translates into all different areas.
So how do you handle getting rejection and no's? And I always love saying, you know, every no is one step closer to your yes. And there's so many similarities when you're sitting here. I'm just like, yes, yes, because what you went through with fitness competitions and what I went through with pageantry, it's wild. I literally photoshopped myself multiple times for Miss USA, for different covers, and then it actually happens, right? Like when the visualization and manifestation, like it is real.
Yeah.
And when you can see it behind your eyes first, and then fully believe in yourself and work towards that every single day, there's so much power in that. But you know, there's still no's along the way.
Yeah.
And we get no's at every stage of life. So how do you handle that rejection and overcome and view those no's so then you use it as fuel, not a setback?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always accidentally was fueled by the no's because it was kind of like, no, like I'm gonna show you type of thing. I mean, I was told from the top modeling agency in New York City that I was just dying to model when I was there, but I know I'm short, right? He told me I was too manly and too short. Don't even try. And I don't know what that did. It lit a fire inside me. I'm like, I'm gonna show you.
Yes.
And when I got that cover, I sent it right to him. I was like, I just want to show you this. Oh yeah, this is my third one.
There reminds me of Jamie from Lima story a little bit too.
Like, let me show you. So yeah, the no's will fuel you. You know, I feel like in the inside, same thing with you, right? It's like, you know, when you know what you want, you know that you're meant for more. A lot of us know that. So those no's just fuel you to keep going. And almost like, for me, kind of sped up the journey. Because I'm like, I'm going to show him.
Oh, yeah. No, I 100% agree. And I feel like God never puts a dream in your heart if he's not going to give you the capacity to actually go achieve it.
That's a great way to say it.
And so that's something that I've always loved to live by too. But and lastly here, I just want to talk about your accomplishments. So there's a lot of times where you have these big accomplishments that you've had. And oftentimes, you know, when you have those accomplishments, you start to almost live by that, and like that's your identity. I know you as a person, and I know that's not your identity now. You're so much more than whatever you've accomplished. But how did you ever have a part in your life where you just associated yourself with American Ninja Warrior or a cover, you know, on a cover of a magazine? Did you ever have that identity where you just focused on that and then you had to somehow break that?
For sure. I mean, just like you were saying before, when I tore my ACL, I feel like right there and then, like, I couldn't walk anymore, so I can't really model, right? I don't have my leg anymore.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't want my gym anymore, which is something that was like I'm a business owner, right? That had all that there. When all of it was gone, I did feel worthless. Like I honestly did. And that's when I had to sit in it for a while, because I think it's really important when these things happen for you to sit in it, to really feel what you need to feel with it. I felt hopeless. I didn't feel good about myself. At one point I was like, I don't even really want to live. Like I was like, I don't want to live because without these things, like who am I? And then after sitting in it and some more, I realized that all those things don't actually matter, and that I had some more inner work to do. So I think that if you are associating yourself with just a singular thing, I would look inward, because there's definitely a lot then some inner work that you can do to love yourself without anything. Like,
what was your first thing that you went to? Was it therapy? Was it a coach, mentor?
So I had a mentor, somebody who came up to me and thank goodness saw that like I was not okay, and was like, I can tell you're not okay. I just want to let you know, like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to always be perfect and chipper and, all the time. You can feel these feelings right now. She's like, but I don't want you to get stuck there. So I think that was really helpful for me to hear from her, especially at that time. The first thing I did is I honestly went to meditation and gratitude, which to me, I was so against it. I was so like, I don't want to meditate. I don't want to do gratitude. But I started doing it daily, and then when to sit with myself without all of those things, it did really help me to sit in silence and to reflect inward and realize that I'm so much more than all those things in my body and things along those lines. To be really grateful for the things I did have, right?
Yeah.
You're focused on like, I can't walk, I can't do this, I can't do that. But what can you do, right? I have a roof over my head. I'm really grateful for that. Like all these different things, that really helped me take that first step into being like, all those things without them, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And we're talking about like some, ninja warrior, whatever. This could be like being a mom. I feel like this happens a lot to moms. Like they feel like their only identity is being a mom, and they're an amazing mother, and but also without that, you also are an amazing person.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're just such a breath of fresh air. And I mean, I know our listeners are just loving your perspective on life, and hopefully this encouraged somebody today to really look at what is going right in their life and what if everything turns out more beautiful than they could ever imagine. And you're a light, and I love your inspiration and just your perspective. I would say like that's the word that really touches me, is like your perspective on life and different opportunities and how to view things. And really, life throws its curveballs at us all the time in different situations, personal, business, like whatever. It just happens. But your mindset, your perspective on everything, and you're just an amazing person. So I'm just grateful to be in your circle, and I'm just so thankful that
I didn't went to that podcast.
I actually flew down here just to go to the live podcast with Lori Harder and Lindsay Swartz, and I honestly had no clue why. I was just like, I know there's just going to be some really, really amazing women here. And that is exactly where we met. And it's cool to see how God works and just connects you with people who he knows that are supposed to be in your world. And I'm just excited for all that you're up to and your speaking engagements. And you know what? We're going to get you another outfit too. And hopefully you remember your pants this time.
We are going to get another outfit. I'm ready for her to just do my whole, like, get rid of everything in my closet.
Revamp.
Just revamp everything.
Yeah. Alrighty, girl. Well, thank you for joining us. It was so fun right here in Zilker Park in Austin. I mean, what an awesome way. We have our prop as our tree for the pull-ups. It worked out amazing. So thank you guys for listening today, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tori Cruise Show. If today's episode inspired you, let's keep the momentum going. For our YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you're always in the loop with our latest episodes. And for our podcast listeners, your ratings and reviews are incredibly valuable. They help us reach more people and continue bringing inspiring stories your way. Remember, this isn't just a podcast, it's a growing community of family. Every like, share, and review helps us grow on our journey together, helping us to highlight more impactful stories. Until next time, keep being the light for yourself and others. See you on the next adventure.